Hey everyone, welcome back to Beauty School Bobby. Today I am joined by two of my favorite Tennessee School of Beauty students. I am here with Bekah and Bethanie. We're actually filming at the school, which obviously you all can see the school in the background, but if you haven't been here before, you are getting a little glimpse into Tennessee School of Beauty. So we thought it would be fun to record here since we are recording with students. So I'm excited to talk to them about their journey in beauty school. So enjoy the show. Okay, you guys, so you all are beauty school besties. You're kind of at that 1,000-hour mark. So you all are about to graduate. You've just got a couple of months left. So I wanted to talk to you guys about what your beauty school experience has been so far, especially at this point, because I think in the next couple of months, so many things are gonna change for you. So I think that I wanted to talk to you now, catch you before you graduate, and kind of hear your experience. Because I think when you graduate and you leave, you're like, oh yeah, everything was perfect and great and whatever. You're just kind of happy to be on to that next phase in the salon or working. You kind of forget the beauty school aspect. So I'm really excited to talk to you guys while you're here. So you both are in the cosmetology program. And like I said, you're about at 1,000 hours. So I want to hear the story kind of about how you all met and how you all became beauty school besties. So tell me a little bit about that.
Do we go first?
That was perfect.
So for orientation, Bethanie was not there.
No.
She missed. They had a schedule issue.
Yeah.
And so whenever not that I didn't get along with any of my other classmates, but I just didn't really click the same way. Like I mentioned going to the Eras tour and it was like crickets except for Bobby. So it was just like a little awkward. And then on Tuesday, I wasn't sure she was going to be there because when they called her name on Saturday, obviously she wasn't there.
Yeah.
So when she came in and we started to the get to know me's and stuff, that's when we really started to be closer friends. And
yeah. She started talking about Taylor Swift and our whole class was like you either love or hate Taylor Swift, sadly. But I could kind of tell that I was the only one that got her on that, and I really wanted to talk to her, but I was kind of nervous, and I'm glad we did. We weren't in the same friend group at first, and then when we started hanging out, we just never stopped.
Oh,
so yeah.
I love that. That's the best thing. Do you remember even what you were expecting that night before orientation? Were you laying in bed who is going to be in my class? What's it going to be like? Are you running through that?
Yeah.
Or what was it like when you were getting ready for that?
A lot of the people that were in our class specifically were our age or older than us. So I feel because we started in May, it was a little bit it's not
High school graduates.
Yeah.
Right.
So
yeah.
I was expecting people who are younger than me and there's a lot of people who are older than me, which I really like that because I feel like a lot of the bigger classes with a lot of young people can just get really overwhelming, overstimulating and just really loud. And so I was expecting a lot of people and there was 9 or 10 of us. So it was really nice to have more time with Zach one-on-one when he was teaching us and stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm really thankful that I started when I did.
Yeah. Those smaller classes are nice. I feel like you get to build these relationships. I mean, I think in the bigger classes, you find your people no matter what.
Yeah,
I mean, I think you end up, whether it's in junior class or whatever, finding those people. But I do think that freshman class is special. And there's something about that bond of starting together. And and I know that not everyone is still here that you started with. I know, did you say half the class maybe has?
Yeah. There are about 5 of us left. One of them, she brought a crap ton of hours. So she's already graduated. And then the other 4 ended up dropping.
Yeah.
So it's just, yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like that ratio is about right, even in those bigger classes and all of that. But I think we're so happy that you all found each other because I think that makes your beauty school experience much better. So what has it been like being able to build that friendship, or how are you guys kind of leaning on each other during this time? Why is it so important to have that person, that beauty school bestie?
Yeah, I think it's just a routine and a different kind of stress that you can't really explain to a lot of people. It's like a full-time job, but it's not, and you're learning, and you're dealing with new people you don't know every single day, and it's not like a regular salon either, so it's just good to have somebody that truly understands it.
A lot of, because some of my close friends, they're they went traditional route, they went through college and are in grad school now, and so whenever I talk to them about it, like they've never like been in the environment, so they don't really get it. Like they understand that I'm tired because I've been on my feet all day, and I have been from one salon setting to another, and I'm peopled out, and like when it comes to like I did a year at Pellissippi, so like I understand like the college experience a little bit, so like going to like class and then like sitting down and working on your laptop is completely different from going to school for 7 hours straight, 4 days a week.
Right. Yeah. How do you feel are you comparing yourself at all to these students or to your friends that have gone to traditional college? Like, how does that, because I haven't even thought about how your friends are even a little farther ahead. It's not like you guys are like first year freshmen in college where they've decided to either keep going or drop out, because there's a huge dropout rate for traditional college as well. So how do you feel when you're like explaining to them or talking to them about it? Do they understand? What's that like?
I don't know. I have a lot of friends that go to UT, especially like with my job and everything, and I can explain it to them that it's work, and it's also like I have a year to kind of figure everything out, and they have like 4 years, so, or they're gonna go get their master's, so they're in school for so long, and it's like I'm just getting comfortable in this routine, but I'm about to change everything, and it's just hard to explain. So that's why it's really nice to have friends here.
Yeah, that is a really valuable part of it, I think, of just that understanding.
And I feel like there's a lot of like part of me that feels like I'm missing out on like the college experience, you know, of like I am meeting new people and I am doing all that, but like it's in a much different way. You're not like, I still live at home, so like that sort of, I feel when around peers my age who do go to college, I feel younger than them for some reason. And I don't know if that's like, it's like a little bit of, what's, I'm trying to think of the word, like, I don't know, my brain just blanked.
Like that imposter syndrome?
Yes, imposter syndrome, where
Yeah.
I feel so much younger and like not as far ahead.
Yeah.
Just because I decided to do something different.
Yeah. Well, I do think too in this year, because it just wraps up so much of your life. Like I think that is one thing that I think we try to convey in admissions, but there's so much to tell you and it's so hard to tell you everything, what to expect, what it's going to be like. But that is, I think, just it being 1 year is short. I think when you go into the salon, you're immediately going to feel like, oh, I jumped from school to starting my career, which is going to feel very different with them. Like when they're still in school and you're like, okay, I've got my job. Like you're so close to that. And so like that feeling or that like that time is so close for you, which is exciting. But yeah, I'm sure while you're in school, like it's different. Like it feels weird, I'm sure. So you've actually worked through school. Both of you have jobs. You've worked in a salon as well as like other jobs. So tell me a little bit about what it's like to juggle that schedule. And then each of you, I kind of want you to tell me like what you would recommend, like what kind of job you'd recommend for beauty school if somebody's wanting to work while they're in school. Because I think we kind of encourage that. I don't think that if you have the opportunity to not work, like that's great, but I don't think that that's like everyone's situation. So what has it been like for you in the salon, and what advice do you have for somebody that wants to work while in school?
It has been really great because I can learn 2 different ways at the same time and like how things function in the salon compared to how things function at school, because it is really different. But it also like, if you want to like make a decent amount of money, working in a salon while you're in school is really not the best option because school runs on salon hours. So like I go to the salon from like 5 when I can leave here till like 8, 8:30, sometimes 9. And then I go home, and then every other Saturday I'll go to the salon, and then like that's it. So it's really hard to like, if you like need to like work to survive and like pay rent and all that sort of stuff, like a salon is probably not the best option for you. Definitely like somewhere that can be more lenient with like hours and like working weekends and stuff is definitely a better option, because that's what I did when I first started, because I was a host at a restaurant when I first started, and then I got back into the salon that I was working at before I started school around August of this past year. And so I definitely saw the difference in like how much money I was making and like how long my days feel compared to how they did, because when we were going from like 8:30 in the morning to 8:30 at night, like on your feet talking to people, and like it feels like this, like if you're listening on audio, you can't see what's happening. My claw hands is how I feel.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's a great way to explain it. I think there's a point where you are just done and that you do need that space to zone out. So I think that's a great piece of advice, is making sure that the job that you're choosing, that you're taking into account that you are going to be talking here. And even in freshman class, when you're not, even those first 9 weeks when you're just in the class and you're not taking clients or on your class days, it's still exhausting mentally, because you're still like around a bunch of people. It's just really overstimulating, to be honest. I think that the aesthetics students probably have a different experience. There's still a big group around, but they definitely have their time to shut off and to just like decompress a little bit. But that is something to take into account, is that you're going from this to something that is going to require your energy and like excitement as well. So what have you been doing through school?
I've had 3 jobs since I started here at TSB. So 2 of them were restaurant jobs, and then I worked as a lifeguard. That was only for like a couple months when I started. But I work at a restaurant, and we do close at like 11 and then 12 on the weekends. So my days are really, really long. I am an extrovert though. So like I gather my energy all day off of people, and then I feel like I use that in the restaurant. But physically I'm exhausted at the end of the day. Especially I work 4 to 5 days a week at the restaurant. Right now, not as much, which is really nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would recommend it though, because since I can work so late, I'm still making a lot of money, enough to get by. So yeah, but I am kind of overwhelmed that I've never been in a salon. So yeah, there's a difference with that.
Yeah. What do you think is the best thing that has come out of you being in the salon during this time in school, if that opportunity did arise for somebody, because you're doing it and you're making it work. So what has been the best part of that, do you think?
I think just having a support system of people who really understand what it's like to be in school, like in beauty school specifically, has been really great, because like you can talk about it to like your restaurant boss and they're going to be like, shut up. Like, I don't care. They're not going to care about how your school, like, they're not going to care about how your day at school was. They're not going to care about your client that you had that made you cry. So having like people who like really support you and like want to see you succeed and want to like grow you as a stylist and like help you in your career has been really refreshing and nice to have when this has been like my entire life for the last year.
Yeah. I kind of am thinking now as you guys are talking, like, just because my mind's always going of like, what can we do to be better? And like, I just really think maybe that idea of, I mean, the beauty school besties are so important, but I think that that idea of somebody outside of TSB that you can talk to and that can like understand what you're going through. And especially like for us, it's so easy because we're like, you're so close. Like I know this light that is about to come for you. So it's easy for us to just be like really encouraging, but it is probably good for somebody that you can talk to that will just like let you vent and be like, I know it's like so hard, you know, and that will like understand that. And I think that's why it's so important to have somebody that has been through it or is going through it with you. So what is the thing that drew you to cosmetology? Like, what is it that made you like decide to pick up the phone that day and call the school to set up a time to come in?
For me, it was very impulsive. And I feel like I'm from Indonesia. So like we've moved around so many times throughout my life. Like we've lived in like 26 different houses. Like it's been crazy. But it was an impulsive decision. I had graduated like 3 months into my junior year. And I never planned on that, so I hadn't applied to any colleges. But growing up, that's kind of where I thought I was going, like just to a traditional college, and I was never at peace with that. I was just like, I just have a really creative spirit. I'm very social, so I don't know. I was just like, I don't really want to do that at the end of the day. And I do plan on like traveling when I get older, just because I've lived in so many different places. So it just kind of made sense. I think I just passed by one day. I don't remember what it was, but like, I don't know if it was Instagram or something. And I was like, wait, I could do cosmetology. Like, why not? I was just working at the time. And then I called Steven and came in for a tour that week. And then the next month I was in school. So
That's so awesome. Yeah. I think a lot of people, it goes one of two ways. Like we have people that like last minute make this decision. And like, oh, they thought it was going to be so easy. They thought this was like the easy way out. My parents are, you know what I hear a lot, and this actually more recently is like my parents said, I have to do something. And so traditional college didn't work. And so I like to, and I'm like, that is never the way that it's going to work for a beauty school. Like you have to be in it. So with you kind of doing this, like, a little bit off the cuff. What did you expect beauty school to be like, and what has been different? What is like the biggest difference from what you expected beauty school to be like?
I think my biggest fear was that I wasn't going to make any friends and I was going to feel like lonely in the experience. And I've made more friends here than I have like in years. And just like genuine good friendships like Bekah. And we just like so many girls here. Like I'm not afraid to like go up and talk to anyone. Like I just expect that kindness. Like no one's mean. Like I was expecting like mean, snobby girls. And I don't know why, but like that was just in my head. Like mean girls. But no, it's just so sweet. And I just like, I get excited to come in and just talk to everyone. Like I don't shut up. Like I'm just like, blah, blah, blah.
Well, I think a lot of people expect that. I think a lot of people think that any environment where there's like majority women, and I hate that like we put that on ourselves. Like we're the ones that are like in our head being like, oh, it's going to be awful. But I mean, that does go back to like experiences that we've had with other women. But I do hate that like that is something that most people are nervous about. I think I was nervous about it starting, even working here. I was like, what is this environment going to be like? And we tell people all the time, we're like, one of my favorite things, because I know you can hear us coming down the hallway and like we can hear you hear us like cracking up. But I always tell people that you'll hear people be like, oh my gosh, I love your hair. Like the amount of compliments that you hear just walk is the best thing. And I'm like, man, like for this environment, for all of us to be nervous about it, like coming into it, I'm like, I just wish that I could show that like it truly is just so welcoming and so warm. And like, I just love the mornings, like when everyone's coming in, like putting their stuff in the lockers and like walking down, everyone's out there. It's just the best energy. And really everybody is like so sweet and so kind. So I think that that's so helpful. So Bekah, tell me a little bit about what it was like for you to choose beauty school and how did that happen for you?
So I graduated high school in 2021. So like COVID, like literally the week before I graduated high school, Knox County Schools decided to let like however many people you want at your graduation come. Like that's how like up in the air things were. And I wasn't 100, like I knew that I did not want to take out like hundreds of thousands of dollars in student loans. Like I already knew that I didn't want to be paying off school for the rest of my life because my mom, she just now has gotten her student loans forgiven at like 51 years old. So she was always very encouraging about me like going to school and getting an education of some kind. She never like really specified. So I just knew that like there wasn't pressure, but like in my head I created like stress for myself to go to school. And so I went to Pellissippi for a year and I think I was majoring in communications. And then after my first semester, I had like a meltdown about how much I hated school and being there and how bad it was for my anxiety. And then I pushed through another semester and was like, I cannot do this anymore. Like it was just too much pressure. And I got diagnosed officially with generalized anxiety disorder in February of 2022. And so getting on medication really helped. And then I decided like, just take a step back. I don't have to make any big decisions anytime soon. So that summer I was just working like a retail job. And then my mom had mentioned going to beauty school and I was like, oh, I never really like thought about that. And at first I was really scared about doing cosmetology because I just didn't think I had like, I don't know, I just didn't think I could do it. And so we toured aesthetics in like maybe July or August of 2022 or 2023. I can't remember. Yeah. No, I can't. We toured aesthetics and I was like, okay, like I feel a little bit better about it. And then like September of 2022, my mom was like, hey, my massage therapist, her wife is working at a salon and they need an assistant for like front desk stuff and all that. And I was like, oh, well maybe I'll apply because I'm thinking about going to beauty school. And then I applied and I worked there for 7 months. And I started my application process for here in like January of 2023. And I was like working with them, like we kind of knew that I was going to go to school, but we weren't quite sure like what for yet. And I just remember them telling me like how hard it was. And I never really like got it until like I came in here. And it's not necessarily like everyone here is so nice. Like my days go really great for the most part. Like everything is good, but just like how exhausting it is like mentally to be going all the time because I'm such an introvert. Like I love my alone time. Like I call Sundays my rot days because I just rot in bed. That's just like, I need it. I need to just like rot for one day to like prepare for the rest of the week. And so like, I guess kind of getting that like little bit of college experience really confirms the fact that I know that this is what I want to do, because I've always been really creative, and I like to be creatively fulfilled in like whatever I'm doing. So that really helped like solidify the fact that like this was the right decision for me.
Yeah. When they were telling you like how hard beauty school was going to be and stuff, were you like, yeah, but I'm in it and was it helpful to see the light at the end of the tunnel where you're like, oh, I see them being busy. I see the money that they're making. Like, what was it that made you say like, I know it's going to be hard? Like, what was the thing that excited you in the salon that you saw? Was it the money? Was it like, what is it that like was like, okay, well, I do want to do this?
I mean, the money is good. Like they all make good money, but I think just like more like it's not just like a client and like stylist relationship. A lot of them, they've been doing hair for like almost 20 years. So like it becomes friendships, and you're building all these really great relationships with people while still getting to like have that little spark of creativity that like I feel like is my niche.
Yeah,
So
no, definitely. What is something that you've learned to help you with your anxiety in this industry? Because I think it's something that a lot of people struggle with. And so what is something that you've learned or something that has kind of helped you with your clients?
So I think the biggest thing with my anxiety comes a lot of like burnout and pressure that I put on myself. Like I did Bethanie's hair like a couple months ago.
It looks amazing.
But every time I look at it, I like am so nitpicky with like the way that I am. I'm like, I could have done this different. I could have done this.
She's like,
I'm just like looking at her hair and I'm like, I could have done, like, I am just so like in my head about stuff like that. And I think that's something that really helps me is like having hobbies outside of hair.
Okay.
That like I can have complete control. Like I am such a control freak. And so I love to cook and I love to bake.
she bakes really so good.
So like having like stuff outside of that I really enjoy, and I love live music and concerts and all that. So like I can go and like not have to think about my life here just for like a couple hours and like have fun.
Yeah. What is something that has been like the hardest part of beauty school for you?
I think it's just like I come here at like 8 o'clock and then I'm here and then I'll go to work and I get off at like 11 or 12 and then I gotta be back here. So it's just like I just don't get a lot of sleep and I'm just like constantly tired, but I'm also so social that like my body is tired, but I'm like so excited. So like I don't know, but I just get sick a lot. That's the only thing. I think I just burn myself out
without and then your body's like, okay.
Yeah, it's like I'm good, but my body's not.
No, I get it.
Yeah.
I totally understand
like,
that.
Yeah, I need to sleep, I need to eat, but then I'm just like so excited and I don't.
I feel like my individual days are very long, but like it's gone by so fast. So it's like this like it's
a weird time.
It's weird. Like I feel like I have lived 1,000 lives since I started.
We always talk about like how I feel like I've changed so much in a year, like compared to like I don't know, like since I started beauty school, like just so much has happened and so much has changed like just in such a short amount of time. Like it's really weird. We always talk about that. We're like it was just this year, but it feels so long ago.
Ages ago. Like time moves at like a completely different speed when you're here.
It's so different.
No, 100%. I feel like that's how I feel, and I've been here 12 years. And I'm like, what happened? Didn't I just start? Like, it's a weird time warp, definitely. Well, one of the things that I wanted to talk to you guys about was like the technical side of it and what it's like in the classroom. So with neither of you having hours from high school, so some students can come in and they've done it in high school, so they kind of have that background. What was it like to learn the technical side of doing hair, and what was a challenge for you, or was there something that really stuck out that you were like, oh, that was the hardest thing and now I just get it, but at the first time that you learned it was really challenging?
During perm week, I almost left for lunch and then just did not come back that day. Like
I
was having a very hard day.
I feel like that's so normal. Like I feel like everybody has that experience through perm week where they're like, I'm gonna go get lunch and like you're never gonna see me again.
And guys. Like I was dog sitting for someone like right down the road and I forgot like work clothes or something, so I like went on my lunch to go over there and I was like, what if I just
No, she texted me. She's like,
"What if we just? I don't know.
What if we just? Yeah.
What if we just call Taylor up and then
call Taylor up?" Like I was like the perm week and like when it was like right towards the end of freshman class when you're just like you're like learning you're like a sponge for 9 weeks and it's like there's so much information in your head and you're really stressed about like test outs and like what it's like gonna be like what's it gonna be like on the floor and like you're just.
I think the biggest thing about freshman class though is like just have fun with it. Like ask questions, have fun. Like looking back, that was like such a fun time because, you know, you're just with your class and it's so intimate. And like we had Zach and we love Zach. We adore him. Like we threw him a birthday party and
I forgot when you guys did that. I remember you coming in and being like, we're gonna surprise him.
yeah.
Oh,
we're gonna do it again this year.
Oh, cute.
Yeah,
That's
for
the best.
sure. No, but for me, I just look back on that and I just think it was so fun and so easy. But I'm like, Zach always told me I had really good dexterity, I guess. Is that the word? But like all that came pretty easily to me, but I just had fun with it.
Yeah. I feel like I want to tell you guys that for the entire time you're here. I'm like, just have fun. Like, this is where you get to make mistakes and this is where you get to just learn. And like, when you leave, like, then it's done. Then you're working. Then you're like, I've got to get clients. I've got to sell product. I've got to do all these things. It becomes a job. And I'm like, I just wish that I want people to take school seriously. I want you all to like learn, obviously. But there's so many times that I'm like, just enjoy it. If you just have fun with it, you know, and I think there are students that do that better than others. I think you guys are always good about like keeping it light and like just having fun. But if you could go back and just kind of tell yourself like maybe that is it, just have fun with it or whatever. But if you guys like, if there's something that you wish you knew before beauty school, what is something that you wish you knew or would have just kind of taken into account more a little bit earlier now that you're almost done?
I would tell myself not to I phrased that wrong. I would tell myself to defer your loan. Because you will have to start paying for that when you're in school and you have no money.
That's a good point. If you have financial
if you have the option to defer your loan, please do that.
I like we're like a financial podcast. Yeah. Like and deferment is
a really good idea if you're working 10 hours a week.
Say that, but like I really love that. Defer your loans.
I don't know. I think I wish I had like put myself out there and like I feel like when we first got onto the floor, we were really scared of all the other girls. But I wish I would have just like started talking to people earlier and like even getting to know people that are about to leave. Like you're still gonna learn so much from them. So yeah, but now Bekah sometimes tells me, she's like, you need a little more social anxiety. She's like, you just like.
I also remember like when I first started in freshman class and like other students would come in and like say hi to Zach or like take a peek in the classroom. I would feel so nervous about like
the older students.
Like someone watching me like try to blow dry a mannequin for the first time, and I was so scared. And now if I go into another class, I'm not looking at what you're doing. Like, I'm in here talking to your teacher because I think they're cool.
That's fun.
Yeah, I think it's no one's judging you. Like you don't need to worry about that. The freshman class that just started, like Bekah and I have been going in there so often and getting to know them really well, and that's been really fun for us too. Like they're so sweet.
A vivid memory of freshman class that sticks out to me is, especially during color week, I asked so many questions. Like when we were doing, like when Zach was going over the PowerPoint, like I was probably annoying with how many questions I was asking. Like, but like it's okay to be annoying with how many questions you ask, so that like you can learn like everything. Like just be a little sponge. And absorb everything, and don't think that you're like better than something that an instructor is teaching you, or like, oh, I already know how to do this, like that sort of thing.
Yeah,
that's a great piece of advice. Tell me about what it's been like to actually be on the salon floor taking clients. Has anything like weird happened? Like, what has that experience been like for you? Has it been good, bad? Like, I know beauty school clients can be challenging in different ways. So, what has that been like for you?
I think the biggest thing that really sticks out is like how many people really just don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like you're explaining, like they're explaining something to you, and when you like say it back to them, like it's not matching up. Like someone asked me for like Jennifer Aniston layers, but I was like, oh, how much do you want to take off? And they're like, oh, I still want it long. Jennifer Aniston layers and like keeping it long is not in the same like realm.
Right.
Or like someone asked me why there was a brown line right here on their part after the base color. And so it's just like, it's very, when you're already feeling burnt out and then someone asks you a question like that, you're like, yeah, I just didn't answer. I just didn't say anything.
Yeah, I feel like consultation is everything, especially when people just they don't know what they want.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's an important lesson though, I think, for in the salon too. You all are learning how important it is to communicate exactly what you want and like exactly what you're looking for in a service too. So I think that that's so valuable, but I think it's probably even more challenging here than it maybe will be once you get
Yeah, it's so different at the salon because like they all already have these established relationships with the clients, and so like you can ask a lot more questions and like, oh, are we doing the same thing today, or are we switching it up, and like that sort of thing. Like you can almost like communicate without having to communicate. But when it's like someone you've never met before who like might not, be fully sober and
yes, yeah, that's a challenge sometimes too.
Yeah, just like having, there's like a little bit of like a even though like you're speaking the same language, there's still like a communication barrier a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes they think they know our terminology, which is always the hardest because they don't. And that's fine. But then if you're saying something and I'm telling you what you're saying and you're saying that's not what you're saying.
Right.
It is though. Like, I don't know what else to tell you. Yeah.
And it's good because you guys have a bunch, like luckily we are so busy here. So you get that experience of like so many different clients. So I think you're going to be ready, but it's definitely a different kind of client for sure. So I know that can be a little bit different. So what is your favorite memory from beauty school? What is the one thing that stands out as like your favorite day, favorite moment, like happiest time at TSB?
My favorite day, Elise and Zach were teaching junior class, and Elise, she like showed me like a notes app the other day of like all of her like classroom ideas, and we did like we each had to pick a decade, and we had to do like a flip chart of it and like do the hair and makeup for it, and me and Bethany won, and we did 90s Supermodel.
Oh, I love it. Your pictures were my favorite. Like, that was so fun. That's when you guys had the pictures out back, right? Yeah, those were my favorite. Yeah. Like, I loved that. Yeah. That was so fun.
That's still, like, one of the days where I had, like, the most fun here ever.
Classroom days are definitely, especially once you get on the floor and then you have those classroom days, they're so fun because, like, you can just relax and, learn. Yeah. You're not like meeting any new people, which is nice, but like it's just nice to come in and just know what's gonna happen.
Yeah. And you guys get to just be with other students all day. Yeah. It's not, I mean, you're always together, but it's good to have that time where it's just classroom, just learning. Yeah. I think that's really fun. Yeah. Bekah, what is your favorite Taylor Swift song? Oh my God. If you had to pick one, if you could only listen to one Taylor Swift song ever again, what is the one that you're like, I could never live without hearing this?
I think Exile.
Oh, I am Bonnie Bear. We like
girl. Yes. I rotate between Folklore and Reputation. Two very different albums.
No, that is like me. No, 100%. Those are my two vibes. But that's your introvert extrovert. But I also like that's actually like literally the perfect example.
I also like at the Eras tour I cried during the one. So like
oh, so good. Yes,
yeah, I cried during the one when we watched the movie, and it was actually like I never cried.
She was like sobbing.
Okay, I literally cry I'll cry like once or twice a year. Like
yeah. Oh wow.
No, like really, like never.
Wait, are you telling me you've never cried at TSB?
I've never cried at TSB.
Wow, that's amazing. No. Not that it would be like bad, but like I just
I've never
feel
had like a client make me cry.
That nobody said anything mean or like that's amazing.
I think like working in the salon too has helped me a lot because like I started serving while I was working here, and I was really nervous about like starting serving, especially because I'm in a little bit of a nicer restaurant and everyone there has already served before, and like you're supposed to have like 3 years experience before you work there, but I had none.
Ooh.
But I think like meeting someone new like very often and just like getting comfortable with someone really fast has helped me a lot in like other industries too.
Yeah.
So yeah.
No, for sure. Okay, but favorite T Swift song?
Oh, I don't know. I like The Archer a lot.
Oh, okay.
But
what's your favorite album?
It's just like every day is like,
How do you pick what Taylor Swift song you're listening to? It's just the vibe of the day.
I have like specific playlists that I have like curated different vibes for.
Okay.
This is how I'm feeling that day. She just listens to mine.
That's a good
like I am like I'm a little bit of like a music snob a little bit.
Yeah, Bekah's cultured me in so many ways.
I love that.
So like I don't listen to Taylor Swift like every day, but when I do, it's like very specific like moods and feelings that I want to feel that day.
I've gone through a phase where I tried to make like whole playlists, but it doesn't work that way because I can't switch from like I don't know. Like I'm way more folklore, Evermore, Midnight. Like I'm way more of the newer stuff, but also Reputation. Like there's some times that I'm just like, that's my, like that's what I need. And you can't just make one playlist and shuffle it because it's not, you have to go off the vibes.
Like whenever I was there live, I was like sobbing to tolerate it, and then like Ready for It started playing, and I was like, oh, I'm not ready for it.
I love that.
In freshman class, we always got Zach to play Taylor Swift, and our whole class
Everyone hated it.
I was gonna say,
so annoyed.
So mad.
We would get in there, literally we would get here early so we could connect to the speaker. And then all day.
Control of the music. That's amazing.
We would listen to Taylor Swift like all day long. It was the best thing ever.
I hope that anybody listening, if they like come to TSB after this, that the one thing they take away is getting here early so that they can be in charge of the music. But Zach would let you. Like, he's like, whatever.
He would let us, but like we just had to make sure another.
And it was like
student
Taylor Swift and Taylor Swift like adjacent.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. That's a good day. I should have been in that classroom more. Like I really should have spent more time in there.
You really should have. You missed out.
Junior, senior, now I'm just going to be like, I'm here. Whatever days you guys are in class, I'm going to be like, it's T Swift day.
Yeah.
We're here.
Yeah.
Everybody does hate it sometimes, though.
I really wish we could do a Taylor Swift dress-up day, but no one would agree to it.
Like, why?
No, we could do that. No.
Seriously,
Just
can
the
we
three
do-
of us.
Yeah.
We'll get Carson on board. Like, I don't know. I bet we could get people to do it, and it would just be the fun people anyways.
Yeah.
So I think we should do it. On April, oh no, I'll be in Chicago. I was going to say on April 19th. We could have done it on that day, but I won't be here. So don't do it without me or I'll be mad.
Or April 29th.
Okay. Well, I'll be back that day.
I think that's a Monday. Never mind.
Okay, well, maybe that Tuesday we can. We'll figure it out. Stay tuned for Taylor Swift, like dress up day. But thank you guys so much for being here. I'm seriously so excited that we're able to share your experience and excited. Like maybe we'll have you back after you have been out working for a little bit to kind of compare where you are. But I love that you've had such like a positive attitude here. I think that that is the one thing about that I think from my perspective makes such a difference for students coming in, and how the student experience is so much on your attitude during it. So I've just like loved every second of you all being here, and like can count on you guys making me smile and it just being like a good day if I see you. So I'm so thankful for that. And I think any takeaway is just like so much of it is who you're with, who you meet in beauty school, and that really can like shape your experience here as well. But just being like open-minded, and you guys have kind of been through it all. You're working while you're here. You're not just like kind of taking the easy way out too. So I'm so thankful that you all were able to share your perspective. So where can we follow you now as far as social media and Instagram stuff goes?
I have an Instagram.
Why are you looking at me? I don't know.
I think it's Beauty by Bethany.
Okay.
Something like that.
We'll look it up and we'll put it down below.
Yeah. I have Hair by Bekah Jean, which is like my hair account, and then just Becca.Weber for like my personal more fun stuff. All the music that I post on there. So some song recommendations on my Instagram.
Yeah. I have my personal in my hair bio, so like they're both. Yeah.
Okay. So once we find your hair one, then we can find your personal one.
Yes.
Perfect. Okay. Awesome. Well, thank you all so much for watching. We are so excited for this upcoming season of Beauty School Bobby. So make sure that you follow, like, subscribe. If you are listening on a podcast, give us a 5-star review, and just stay tuned for more Beauty School Bobby. Thanks, guys. Bye.